Every city needs a hero. New York has Spider-Man, Gotham has Batman, but Seattle has Phoenix Jones, a real-life superhero, someone who would put on armor, climb rooftops, and fight criminals on the street. He took himself very seriously, and for a while so did the public, but things went south. This is the story of Phoenix Jones, the MMA fighter who turned into Seattle's real Batman, before getting arrested for selling Molly at a Starbucks, but we'll get to that.
Phoenix Jones, I'm from the USA, and if you see bad things, you shouldn't do nothing.
You're now seeing Phoenix Jones. Suspect is down.
Yeah, Phoenix claims it's no big deal, but what happened here the other day is exactly what police are afraid was going to happen.
What's up with the sombrero, man, in the motherfucking mask, man?
Is just Batgirl Volume 12?
If you're driving around with a guy named Red Mist who's smoking weed while driving a car, listening to Gnarls Barkley, I'm crazy, you're stupid.
Right. Benjamin John Francis Fodor, born in Texas, raised in Seattle. Foster brother to Karos Fodor, a legit UFC and Strikeforce fighter. But Ben wasn't bad himself.
Bang.
He started amateur MMA in 2006 and went 15-2, and went pro in 2013. He fought for World Series fighting and racked up a record of 7-3-1, even scoring a submission win with a head scissor choke.
Tell you what, as awkward as it looks, Phoenix Jones has a lot of options, and that's it. Phoenix Jones has defeated Roberto Young.
So yeah, the guy actually knew how to fight. This wasn't just some LARPing mall cop situation. Like all comic book heroes, his story began with an equally dramatic case of injustice. One night in 2010, his car got smashed, and his son tripped over in the class. Ben said that while he was panicking, bystanders just stood around and filmed. So naturally he did what anyone would do in this situation. He brought a breakaway tuxedo, a ski mask, and started fighting crime. But before we start talking about his life of fighting crime, let's talk gear. The first version of his suit included a bulletproof vest, rubber suit lining, a ballistic cup, tactical gloves, and Kevlar shin guards. And later upgrades included a stun baton, pepper spray, tear gas, handcuffs, a taser, first aid kits, and most importantly, a net gun. This guy was significantly more equipped than a UK police officer, both physically and mentally. The guy was actually stabbed and shot at, claiming the dragon skin armor and ballistic plating saved his life.
Underneath here, there's a bulletproof vest that goes through here, and then this is a special material. If you push it, it's soft, right?
Yeah.
But then give it a good punch.
So this wasn't just a publicity stunt, it was actually dangerous. But every superhero needs a team, right? That's where the Rain City superhero movement comes in. Phoenix recruited a group of Seattle misfits, each with their own code names and costumes. I'm not going to remember these names. We got Purple Rain, Red Dragon, No Name, The Mantis, and Thorn. That's pretty sick. They had their own Seattle extended universe. Together, they patrolled the city. They broke up fights, stopped drunk drivers, and even escorted people home safely. At one point, they even tried to intervene at the 2012 May Day protests, chasing vandals downtown. It was goofy, but sometimes it worked. But of course, not everyone could keep up, and Phoenix disbanded the group in 2014, saying too many of the members weren't in shape. He actually had a fitness test that people had to pass.
Hey guys, a couple days ago on my Facebook, I posted how a guy got away. We were chasing him because I wasn't in good enough shape to keep up that pace with him. So I've been changing it up. I just started running today. I ran about 12 miles. So I want you guys to check out what it looks like. We put in some actual work in this thing. I'm going to take this suit off I've been wearing.
5 pull-ups and 25 sit-ups in 2 minutes. I have to say, coming from someone who's not in the best shape, it seems like a low bar to set for a superhero group. But for all the cringe, Phoenix actually stopped crime. And over 120 arrests were reportedly linked to him. Seattle media were loving it. He was invited to appear in the Say No to Drugs PSA and did school talks. He was even profiled in national outlets as the real-life superhero. Seattle were loving it, until one night when Phoenix thought he saw a brawl in an alley. He doesn't hesitate. He sprints towards it, full MMA mode with his suit on, the adrenaline pumping. This is his moment. He pulls out the pepper spray and absolutely unloads on everyone. Only this wasn't a fight. Turns out they were just dancing. Imagine going on a fun night out and being pepper sprayed by Seattle's Batman. Public opinion tanked, so Phoenix tried damage control. In a full press conference on the steps of City Hall, Phoenix Jones stood in costume and declared,
At this point, in light of a few things that have happened, there's a few things that I would personally like to do. I'm Phoenix Jones. I'm also Ben Fodor. I also protect the city. I also am a father. I also am a brother. You know, I'm just like everyone else.
The only difference is that I decided to make a difference and stop crime in my neighborhood, in my area. I intend to keep making that difference. The charges were false.
Then he dramatically walked away like Hans Zimmer was playing in the background. Spoiler, he didn't get the redemption arc he was hoping for. The final blow came in 2020. Phoenix Jones, the self-appointed superhero, the guy that told kids to say no to drugs, was arrested in a sting operation. Fodor sold MDMA, also known as Molly, to an undercover narcotics detective at a Starbucks. Investigators later recovered bags of cocaine and other white powders. Seattle's Batman wasn't Bruce Wayne. He wasn't even Kick-Ass. He was just your local vigilante turned dealer, handing out coke in brown paper bags. But it didn't stop there. When officers later arrested Fodor and his girlfriend at a hotel, they discovered 7 bundles of cocaine, scales, and multiple bags of mushrooms and identified white powder. So yeah, the guy that once patrolled Seattle in body armor was now getting busted with his girlfriend, a hotel, and a tackle box full of shrooms. The irony was brutal. For years, Phoenix Jones was out there tackling drunks, pepper spraying dealers, and bragging about his over 100 arrests. But in hindsight, it looks a lot less like crime fighting, and more like getting your competition arrested. The Rain City superhero movement disbanded. Seattle PD said please stop dressing like superheroes, and the city's attorney said it best: a deeply misguided individual. Which is just a nice way of saying please don't pepper spray dancers and sell shrooms on the street. So that's Phoenix Jones, an MMA fighter turned vigilante superhero who turned out to be the villain of his own story.